little note on mitigation here. I just wanted to point this out because you'll see this over and over and over again in your trading. Sometimes it'll look nice and pretty, other times it'll be a little bit harder to follow, but nonetheless, you're just going to see this happen, especially when price gets into a trending mode and it's just sort of having its move either downward or upward. Then you'll see this. And remember, mitigation is when an order block is created and then price is coming back and tapping it. Okay, and it's taking that momentum from that order block and then using it to go somewhere. So like right here, let's start here, okay? Because so we've got this level, then price has a break, order block, price comes back, taps it, breaks, and then in the process leaves this order block and this order block. Then price comes back down, taps into that one, taps into the more extreme one right there, and then has it move. And then let's see where it breaks later. Never breaks back above this high point, but it kind of trickles up and it breaks this. So this one breaks this. So we can just plot that right in. And this really, honestly, is for nothing more than just for you to see the mitigation and sort of you can get a feel for it in your own charts. Just kind of like identifying the order blocks. And it really helps when you can see price just trend and come back and tap the previous order block. Create another one, come back and tap it. Create another one, come back and tap it. So right here, when it gets to this high point, what happens is we finally see a break for the downside right here. Order block, price comes back, taps it, break, order block, comes back. Okay, break, leaves an order block, comes back. Looks like it doesn't have much of a move, and it actually comes back, pushes a little bit deeper into this 10-minute order block, then breaks, leaves an order block right here, comes back. And I don't have the wick right here mapped in. I mean, yes, if I was actually waiting for this order block for a trade, I would have it mapped in. We'll just map it in right now. So here we've got a break, and then this is not a clean looking order block to me right here because price has come back and tapped it. So, and again, sometimes like price is going to come back and tap those order blocks that don't look clean. But from what I've found, it's just worth it to wait. Like, it's just worth it not to take every single trade. And it's better if you just kind of pick and choose, pass on the ones that don't look really clean. That's what I've found. But I've also found that, you know, hey, price will come back up and it'll tap it and then it'll have a nice move. But sometimes you just got to get to the point where you're just picking and choosing. Like, you're just not going to take everything, or else you'll lose your edge and you won't really have an edge in the market. So then right here, breaks this area, and notice how every time it breaks, it has a little pullback, then a break, pullback, then a break. Okay, so it's just the same thing over and over and over again. This price comes up, taps. Now, what's different about this? And this is really, really important because it can help you understand why the break of structure increases the quality, why the break of structure. You know, I almost think to myself that if there is no break of structure, then there is no order block, because it's the break of structure that creates the order block. But if you go back in your charts and you really look, and you may have taken a trade like this, that when an order block, it doesn't necessarily have a break of structure, price can still come up and tap it and have a nice move away. So I think that the proper way to think about this is probably there's a break of structure that creates the order block, and then we're waiting for it. But I want to show you the power of the break of structure right here, because look, it doesn't come back. So this is the structure that we're waiting to be broken. It doesn't come back and break this structure. So that leads us to believe, hey, we're not going to try to sit on anything over here. There really wasn't anything for us to sit on even anyway. But it just gives us kind of that switch in our minds of like, you know what? If this isn't breaking structure this way, then we may be looking to turn around. We may be looking to go to the upside. How long? We have no idea. But at least we can start to make that shift and sort of look like, well, okay, well, when this one's broken, you know, so either it's here if you count the wick, here if you count the bodies, Either one is fine. See what works for you. I usually go by the bodies. So now we can start to see, okay, well, where is it leaving us order blocks? So right here, like right here, would have actually been an order block, because check it out. Like, this broke right here. Okay, this made a new high point. Look at all the lower points. So this would have been an order block. Now, I'm not saying that you have to take this order block. You can wait for a more dramatic, more contrasting move. There's options out there for quality. You're in charge of the quality, okay? You're on the front of that line, man, and you're in charge of the quality control. So this one, I don't have a problem taking. I would have taken it because it's a nice break, even though it doesn't, appear to be a dramatic move sort of a thing. So let's see. So then we've got this one right here, which is our sell. And then again, we're taking into account the wick afterwards of it, and it comes down. So we've got that break right there. So plotting that in. Looks like we've got another break right here. So would have plotted this one in right here. And then it invalidated it and ran right through it. And it's just so on and so forth, just again and again and again. And then there's this one right here, which I don't actually think it was tapped. So the low right here, 750, and then the high is 749. So this thing wasn't even tapped. Okay, and then taking into account, the little wick right there, I don't know. Yeah, it does look like it goes a little bit higher. So that would be an order block. And then that one really, it did have quite a move away. And this is interesting. Like, don't necessarily take this as fact or anything like that. But one thing to notice is just, it's like dramatic move away, and then it comes back, and then like really dramatic move away. So just interesting things to notice, when you're mapping out the charts and when you're looking at things. So the only thing that I want you to take away here is that when price is trending either, up or down, then oftentimes you will see price just continue to break and then mitigate, break and then mitigate. Sometimes what will happen is price will break, create an order block, and then instead of coming back and mitigating, like it'll just break again and then break again and then eventually come back up, tap that order block, and boom, then we're off to the races, sort of a thing. So there's no one way that price does it all the time, or else price would just be literally leaving order blocks and mitigating them for every single move, and we'd be able to just basically trade almost every single move. And right here in this example, you can see like, wow, once I map this one out, well, then I could have taken this trade. And here's the thing. Like, you can take a trade like this. It's not going to give you great risk to reward. That's why we drop down and we do the 1 minute validation, is to get really, really good entries. Not only the entries though, it also gives us the validation that we need to take the trade. Right here, we have the break, we have the order block, and we have price coming back, but price isn't, there's no real way to validate that this trade like is a higher probability trade. That's the whole reason why we do the whole break of structure and all that stuff, is to get better validation on our trades. So even though you could do something like that, I just use it as a reference point. Okay, that's all I use it for. I just use it for, okay, looks like we're breaking and leaving order blocks, and price is mitigating them over and over and over again. So let me keep slapping these on here for potential 1 minute opportunities. And it's just that. And as you get deeper into price and you really start trading these pairs in this fashion, then you'll just get to see that over and over and over again.